Hey. I just wanted to come and do a review on a foundation that I've been using for the past 2 months, off and on. And it is the Graftobian, what is this? The Graftobian High Definition Cream Foundation. This color is in Burnt Amber. Now, I'm going to post a link to the website so that it could describe all it's made out of and the actual purpose of it and everything. But I'm going to try to be as descriptive as possible, and then I'm going to do a demo. So pretty much the first thing I'm going to talk about is the durability. It does last all day. It does last all pretty much all night. I've worn it to work. I've worn it out to a bar, out to the club, and all the dancing and sweating all the bodies and everything. I didn't need to blot or, I didn't need to blot or powder myself down. And I feel like I have combination oily skin. So I do get a little oily right here, and no, it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be matte, but it lasts very well. As far as transfer, it does transfer, but when I do set it with powder, I put the Color Stay pressed powder on it, and it doesn't transfer as much. It doesn't have a lot of transfer like Maybelline Superstay that has a lot of transfer, but it's not like 1% transferability like the Revlon Color Stay. It will transfer. I mean, I can't put my face on somebody's white shirt and expect nothing to come off, but the transfer is pretty low. As far as the skin types that can use it, I have, like I said, I feel like I have combination oily skin, so it works fine for me. Dry, I don't know. It might not work good for people with dry skin, but don't quote me on that. Normal skin, perfect. I did notice it went on kind of matte, and then I powdered it, and then as it oxidized on my skin and as the time went by, it went to maybe like a dewy satin finish. So for those who like that kind of finish, I'll have insert a picture so you could get an idea of what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's see where I got it. I got it in LA at Friends Beauty Supply, which is, I'm reading the address off the bag. It's on Laurel Canyon Boulevard. I'll post the information on the bottom bar so that you can get it. Let's see. When I bought it, it was, what does it say? This little thing was $9.95. Well, I shouldn't say little, because this was $9.95, and it has, how many grams? 14 grams. 14 grams in here. So I've had it for a couple months, and you see how I barely made a dent. And a little goes a long way. You can kind of do like the Eve Pearl method, where you just scrape a little with your spatula and do the, what did she do? Like dark around your, well, for women of color, dark around your perimeter, and then light in here. So that's what I do. And segue into, I also, along with that, I bought this high definition contour palette. I'm sorry, high definition color palette. This is Warm number 2. And it has colors Buttermilk, Desert Sand, Golden Sunset, Deep Xanth, and Midnight Marigold. And that of course segues me into color, the color chart. They have a color chart on the website for you to be able to match yourself. Like for instance, I think they have MAC and Revlon Color Stay and the equivalent in their colors. I think the Burnt Amber matches me very well, but on the paper there was another type of amber that they said was supposed to be my color, but this one works pretty good. Burnt Amber. There was a woman on, there's a woman on Facebook who also did a review, a black woman, and she used Midnight Marigold, and I think she said she was an NC50. So, the Midnight Marigold is, let's see, Midnight Marigold is this color on the far right. I use that for concealing right here to bring, you know, to highlight under my eyes. And then I use the burnt amber around. All these I haven't used yet, but I probably use them for under my eyebrow. Setting powder, like I mentioned before, I do use the Revlon Color Stay Pressed powder. This is in Deep. And I think I may have used this Maybelline Dream Matte, which is in Hazelnut Dark 2-3. But the Revlon is my go-to one. So, I think I went over everything. Price, color chart, which is available on the website. And what I do is, I'm going to do it pretty haphazardly because after this video I'm just going to take it off. It's like 11 o'clock over here, so I don't plan on going anywhere. But I'll have pictures of how it looks when I'm actually really, you know, doing it how it needs to be done. So what I do is I just dip the brush in a little. And I do one swipe here. This is very pigmented, so you don't need to use a lot. I do one swipe on each cheek, one right here, and one right there. And it has like a, now wetting the sponge and will shear it out. So if you want full coverage, which this foundation can do full coverage, you would just either not wet it so much or just wet it down and then go behind it and put more on, or you just don't wet the sponge. So I'm gonna take it under my neck. Make sure you get into your hairline. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't want to get in my hairline because, of course, getting it in your hairline means you have to wash it off, and then of course your edges will get wet, and that's always a big deal for me. But you don't want to look like a damn fool with a mask, so you got to get in your edges. Somewhat presentable. So this is a basic everyday application. If I were going to the club or to a bar or something, I'd probably go a little heavier. I would probably tap more on and then wet my sponge a little bit more and then do it again. But for the sake of just this review, this is how it looks. Excuse me if I didn't blend it in so wonderfully, but this is just to give you the idea. And you see, this is going to last me probably the entire 2011. And I really do like this. It's an awesome, awesome, awesome foundation. It's so good that once I get, when I hit pan, I will go buy more. I need to figure out the filming. But this is the look. It is Heritage Rouge. And then just a beauty marked kind of color from the Coastal Scents 26 Neutral palette. So